So thank you guys for tuning in. We have a special guest, but I'm going to let my right hand bring them in. Mr. Julio, what you got?
That is right. Good morning, everybody. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got great guests, and it's a true honor to introduce this gentleman today. He is an expert when it comes to multifamily housing, student housing, HOAs. This gentleman is the VP of Penn Capital. He's also the Executive Vice President of Operations and Acquisitions. His name is Keith Stanley Walker.
Good morning.
So good morning, Mr. Walker. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good.
Good. We would like to welcome you to our podcast downtown. I mean, you could have been anywhere today, especially today, and you could have been doing some wonderful things out there. You took the time out of your morning to say, hey, let me drop some crumbs for the next gen. So we wanted to bring you on and say, let us give you your flowers and say thank you for the things you have done. And thank you for the things you continue to do for those who are out there that's listening or seeing you. So welcome to our podcast, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So in saying that, we wanted to get to know you a little bit better so that we can leave crumbs for the next generation. So we want to hear a little about yourself and about your story and what you can, what we can pick up and deliver to the next one.
Sure. So first of all, I was born in Tennessee. And at a young age, rough community outside of Chattanooga. Uh-huh. And I've always had this vision to do something bigger than what was, what I've saw in my local community. And that means we were in a place of struggle, low income housing. Yeah. And so growing up, I had an opportunity to move out west with my mother. And there I began to not only get into sports that took me on to Central Washington University to play D1 football.
Awesome.
Go Wildcats.
Awesome.
But it piqued my interest on, seeing a different vision, a way of life than what was shown to me or what I experienced. And so that brought me into or forced me into real estate. So I grew a passion because I wanted to just bring change, positive change to communities. And so when we fast forward, we're in Florida. Loving it here in South Dade, but same passion is there, just a little bit more experience and more eager to just drive in results.
So I met Keith at the baseball field, Little League baseball field,
right.
And he's got a passion. He's got a beautiful family, beautiful kids, and he's got a passion to bring, to elevate the youth sports in Homestead.
Okay.
So when I see people that are passionate like that, you're drawn to have a connection with people like that. So we've become friends, and we've been bouncing off ideas from each other on how we can elevate, the entire youth sports down in Homestead. And he's got so many ideas. It's like, how do we unpack these? Right. How do we unpack these in an organized fashion? And sometimes you got to slow him down a little bit because he just wants to go a million miles an hour.
Right.
Because from the private sector too, you just, you want something done, you get it done immediately.
Absolutely.
So he comes from that private sector where things happen quickly. And I said, well, in government, things don't always happen that way. We need approvals. We've got to get before the board, and we got to get before council, and then these decisions are slower. But I think today we can talk about some of the things that you want to unpack, Keith, because I think Homestead needs it.
Yes.
We need to be around more people like yourself that have that drive and don't want to ever take no for an answer. And we're tired of waiting forever for things to get done. So from there, I said, all right, what can we start doing? And this guy, I haven't even read half of his bio, but this guy is an expert in adding value to projects. And when I say value, there's developers out there. He does projects.
So he's a developer's dream.
Yes, he's a developer's dream. A developer's dream, because there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to some of these, and these projects range from $5 million to $80 million. These are huge, institutional investor projects. And he is managing not only the safety aspect, but making sure that these projects get done, on budget, on time. And there are so many moving parts to that. So Keith, can you help us understand a little bit about running one of these huge projects?
Yeah, it takes patience,
right?
But a lot of it is just, what are you willing to sacrifice for your community. Because when you look at say a multifamily building or a student housing building, it's, do you want a return, or you want a return that the community is going to feel? How do you want to be known in that community as a owner and operator?
Right.
And so from us, we go out and we look for any potential, like I said, add value property. And it's not going to be just anything. I mean, sure, you can add value to most things if you put your mind to it.
Right.
But for us and for me, it's really like, how can I come and pick this area up, provide some homes,
Right.
and then give people a place that they can go home and relax and begin to see growth within their own families, spread out through the community. And so, just like we had a project called Vox Miami, I was on that with Trio Group. And you guys may have heard of Trio Group, but it was a great experience. They allowed me to come and shadow them on a lot of things. Good. And we didn't want to be the first purpose-built student community. We wanted to have a place where students could go, not only live, but maybe their studies and performance increase, because how we're giving them, these amenities, or we're supporting what their vision is.
Right.
And that's what it is. You can't just go and add value to a place. You want to get in. You want to find these particular areas that are struggling.
Right.
So I have, I guess, a love for struggling.
Right. But a passion for helping.
And again, you heard part of my testimony. It's because I grew up in a place that struggled as a community. So to me, I was just driven to create change.
Right. So what led? I mean, obviously, you could have lived anywhere. You chose to live here.
Sure.
What led you here?
A lot of people don't know this. It should be on my resume.
Right.
It's not, my wife was born in Naples. Her family, her dad was a commercial fisherman in the Gulf, so they had a history here. I visited one time, and I was in ministry as a youth leader. And just one day flying out, I said, man, I would love to put a church there. So kind of like to your point, if something arises in my mind, it's like I can't stop until I do it.
Right.
And so in 2012, we packed up. We only had 2 kids at the time.
Yeah.
We packed up and we came in. We were pioneering a church in Coconut Creek.
Wow.
So we did that for years. And so then, other things, and continued in real estate, but it just our passion grew from there. And I can tell people I'm from Florida.
There you go. That's right.
We were in Naples not too long ago for the Thanksgiving holiday, and Naples is such a pretty place, man.
Yes.
Beautiful. And when we were going through Fifth Avenue, I think they're downtown Fifth Avenue.
Downtown.
It looks similar to what Homestead's downtown could become.
Sure.
Right.
Very, very similar. Historic. The buildings were only 3 stories high.
Right.
And it kept that historic charm to it, which is what we're going to. Demetrius and I are really, really, we're pounding the pavement to bring restaurants, to bring bars, to bring lounges, to bring all of that stuff down here. So one day we're going to get there. We're going to make it happen. We're going to talk it into existence.
You're going to shout it into it.
Well, imagine this. Yeah. So you talked about Little League. The one thing that brought me to Harrisfield is I noticed the traffic going past Harris.
Yeah.
And I realized that's a key part for us. That's a key place of advertisement if we're going to show our community.
Right.
And again, being from Tennessee, where I played Little League ball, I remember the structure there. And no matter what side of the street you were from, when the little kids got up to throw a baseball, and we were there. Yeah. And families were being built, and businesses and handshakes. And so what just got onto my heart was, this is your number one park, and you're in a place that is a few minutes from the Keys, south of Miami. Anybody in the world would want to come and be a part of this city if you just tell them where you're located.
Right. And have a passion for where you're located too.
Absolutely.
Because I've seen a lot of times people, they say a man is without honor in his own hometown. So there's a lot of times they everyone else sees the beauty in what you have, and it's easy to lose sight of that, and that's what we're trying to bring focus back to. That we have a beautiful city here, and I think that as they continue to revitalize the area, and that's what we see that they're doing, we wanted to see where the passion is and how we can target it. And like now downtown, we're trying to bring more value to wanting to be here, versus when you say, "Where do you live?" Homestead. Yeah. It's like,
Absolutely.
we're heading north.
You know, when I think of what creates a great city, you know, obviously small business is a huge component of that, but you also need, you know, good schools.
Right? Yes.
You also need good youth programs. You also need great parks.
Right.
You know, so when you create this ecosystem and you give each one of those departments the same energy and the same resources,
right,
it comes together like this beautiful ecosystem.
Right.
And then it's a desirable place. It's an attractive place to live. We wouldn't have to be attracting people to downtown.
Right.
They would come on their own,
right,
because there are so many other parts of the city that are at a high level. So now, I mean, we typically go to other places, and you know, we're human, so sometimes we look and we envy what they have. But we're all smart, intelligent people. We can bring that down here. We just need to put this in front of the right decision makers, and we can allocate the resources to those parks. So let me ask you, Keith, when you were growing up in Little League, because I'm a Little League, I'm a product of Little League too, and I still remember, you know, those home runs and seeing the families in the stands, you know. Those, I still remember going to travel ball when we were going to a tournament somewhere else in Orlando. I've always said, why can't we bring them down here?
Right.
What do you feel that that's at one of the highest levels of having a great youth program to make a city great? Do you feel the same?
It is, because that's your future. I mean, that's it's simple. If you're going to sustain your community for ages to come, you have to build your youth. That's your future.
I agree. I agree 100%, 1,000%.
Right. So give us some more insights. I mean, about, you know, what you see. I mean, the change. What you envision now the change should be about our local area.
So we see, you know, again, there's a lot of homes being developed.
Right.
And that's a good thing. You know, we can frown and say it's bad. We don't have, you know, certain level of this developed yet. But you're bringing in people, and I assure you, you know, if anyone's going to watch this worldwide, hopefully, the pricing of homes here is a little bit higher than others, because we have great value.
Right.
We have great value. So that means you're bringing in people that are established.
Right.
Should be, and for the most part. And so now, I think it's right. I think it's all these homes being built, all these people move into this community. Now it's, how can we take this inflow of great people that are coming in with the great people to here and get some things that are going to sustain the community, like the youth, like, again, other development. So our platforms are there. We just have to organize a bit better. And I think, you know, it starts with podcasts like you have here, just conversating about it, because I know there's passionate people like myself that are like, they're gonna walk away from here saying, okay, there's opportunity. Maybe it's something I didn't think about, but these gentlemen are speaking about something that we should consider and we should do. And then I think it's, like I said, I have investors, Payne and Capital, those two guys are from Georgia, tied in the UGA. I mean, one of them is probably one of the largest landowners in Georgia. Wow. But that has opened up doors, not only for my family, but for us here in South Florida. Because now it's me reaching out to these developers and saying, hey, I love what you did with your basketball league there that you created. You know, what ideas can we do here? And just pull collectively from those sources. And so I do, like I said, we have the landscape now, and it's really about getting some people together that are passionate about it and getting the job done.
Cool beans.
Keith, do you think, I'm big on syndications.
Sure.
Right? And I think there's a way for everybody to get a piece of the pie, you know, as long as they want to do it the right way, structured, right? So that if you feel that you don't have enough capital to purchase that 150 unit building, but you do want a piece of that building, you just don't know how to get in. Talking to guys like you create an avenue to become part of that, right? Is that something you're working on as well?
Absolutely. So, I mean, several projects. Like Julio said earlier, I have to niche them down sometimes because you get it just rapid fire. And they're all good causes. But right now, similar, I'm working on trying to put together a brokerage that's going to focus on inner city. Okay. And what this is just financial awareness, teaching financial awareness, teaching real estate and the gains from it, and then the upside of being a part of your development in your own community, what that looks like. And I fundraise. I mean, I'm doing it now, and so typically what I'll do is go and look for people who have money set aside or have made money.
Right.
For instance, we've got NIL now that's bigger than anything.
Yeah.
And to be honest, not specifically to the race, but there's a lot of black athletes that grew up like me that I don't even know what the word finance meant.
Right.
And so someone shared it with me.
Right.
And to me, I was looking across, like I said, across the street at the guy who likes to sing music is me.
Right.
We were into our own thing.
Right.
And we were never looking over here until a friend came over from a different side of town who said, "Hey, I'm getting involved in this. You want to come?" And I don't even have no clue. And so I'm trying to develop a program now that, for instance, you're building that will go and talk to these NIL athletes, that will talk to these other business owners, groups, and say, "Hey, instead of blowing your money, on a fancy piece of jewelry, check out that building here. We can take a portion of your finances, and we can give you some sustained income, residual income, and add value to your own community."
There you go.
That's the beauty of this podcast too, because there are many times Demetrius has taught me about revocable and irrevocable trust and how to set that up in the proper way for, to help with the goals of your family. Those are things, like you said, back in the day, we didn't know what that was. We would hear those words scattered around every now and then, but we didn't truly understand what they meant and how they can be applied to your family so that you can start the generational wealth aspect in your family. Because most of the time, we just go through life. We're done. Then your kids got to start the whole thing over. They're done.
Reset.
Nobody started the process on how to properly structure this so that the next generation goes, "Oh, thanks, Dad, for doing this."
Absolutely.
Now we can really put ourselves on trajectory to go to the top. Now, how do you think, when you break this down to the essence of what you just said, we want to teach financial literacy? To who and how?
Great question. So children are sponges.
Right.
And we have to remember, I told my daughter, I was driving, I think, a car at 12 years old. My grandmother used to let me take it out and wash her car, and I learned very early. Yeah. And even though we were in these country streets, I had an uncle who lived on the end, and he'd always know I had the car out too late. Yeah. You were just supposed to wash it and take it back. But the fact that I actually learned at a young age, no one taught me. I just got in, went to the car wash, washed her, learned how to come back. I told my daughter, I said, there's an age on when you should be able to learn and get your license. But that doesn't mean you can't start the process now.
Right.
And so they're in their learning years.
Right.
You sat them in a room and you start painting these beautiful pictures of success.
Yes.
Rather than, because I'm going to tell you, they're already getting the negative.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we know as grown folks, if something's on our minds, we talk about it constantly. Mm-hmm. So they're in the back seat on the way to see their best friend hearing all the negative stuff.
Right.
And that's growing on them. So it's like a reverse thought process. It's, okay, how do we start getting into these middle schools and say, hey, I just want to show you on a level you can understand what I do, kind of like show and tell days. Right. This is what I do. This is why you have this great building here when you drive by. Yeah. This is why. It's because we're saving money. We're putting money aside. We're putting our money back into the community.
Yeah.
That's going to build your parks. That's going to give you, that better place to go. And that's what it is. And so Dr. Tim Natty, Naddy, CFO of Savannah Bananas.
Savannah Bananas.
And this, it's baseball, but it's based around family entertainment.
Yeah.
And they came to Marlin Stadium. They sell it out every time. It's an amazing thing for a family to view baseball and to see it and get involved. Him and I are linking up. And he's teaching me some things. I told him I'm his patient. And the reason I bring his name up on this is because his vision is the same. And he, again, black guy, white guy like him from Rome, Georgia. He had told me, and I know he probably don't mind me saying this, he said, I was taught by two black guys near Rome, Georgia. And I thought, wait a second, really? He goes, so what you're saying you want to do, I want to do, because you're right. It's the person that doesn't, act like you that's going to teach you things that are valuable. We can't be afraid of stepping out of our comfort zone.
Right.
Just because they don't look like us, they don't talk like we can't learn anything. Absolutely. That's what a community is.
Right.
It's me bringing my basket, you bringing yours, and we're feeding everyone.
There you go.
And so, him and I are working on some things. And it's to do that. He's building a program where it's going to speak to kids, middle school, high school, then up into the college athletes, and paint a picture of, guys, you got a big dream, but let's help you get financially literate.
Right.
And let's start putting your money aside and helping you invest in your own community.
Well said.
1,000%. So if you could pick one or two things that the city of Homestead, our community, could do different at Harris Field, what would those two things be, so that maybe we could help spread that word and get some momentum behind that thought process?
So I'll be short for the sake of time.
No.
These are my love strings. So, again, Harris Field, I've seen the Little League, and then across the parking lot, the football, the soccer.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there. So there's a lot of activities to offer. Even Luminae Volleyball. My daughter started there. And to be true, I'll give credit where it is. She's playing at a different club. But we moved to Homestead because of volleyball.
Oh, man. Luminae Volleyball. Shout out to Luminae Volleyball for doing what they do. They're attracting people to our city.
Yeah. So Coach Lou and Peter gave us an opportunity, taught my daughter volleyball. Now she's getting these conversations from colleges, to Syracuse conversations, all over. So we moved because we thought we need a place that we're going to help our kids have activities.
Yeah.
And so we were driving her there, and then my wife asked about, hey, is there anything for my boys? And one of the volleyball parents said, well, baseball's across the street.
Right.
So then we were able to put them in baseball and our daughters in volleyball simultaneously.
Right.
So you talk about the power of Harris Field. Right. Now I'm Homestead, roots being built here, and because of that. So that's the potential. But I think another thing is, don't let the park just sit outside of the seasons. Right. Even when you were running, I paid attention to how many people got out and voted.
Right.
Why are people lacking on their voting and lacking on getting out? I feel that we have to create an awareness of what Homestead is.
Yeah.
More than just the parks. So utilize that park to have a function.
Right.
Maybe the function don't mean anything, but meet and greet.
Right.
And I get it. It costs finances. We often look at, man, I'm gonna have to spend money. Plus, I want to make money and feed my family.
That's right.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice.
Right.
You have to say, let's create something here at the park that not baseball, not football driven, not soccer, that we're gonna have people come out and let them meet and greet. Let's bring businesses in. Let's just shake hands. Let's let them know that me from Florida City do have resources and things that also going to help Homestead, and vice versa.
Right.
And just start getting people outside, outdoors together.
Right. And that's that love of that organic feel of what we're trying to do and continuing to do for our vision of what Homestead looks like.
And I don't know if you guys, well, I'm sure you guys are aware, there is the Sports Performance Hub that is investing $280 million to establish a new facility in Homestead, state-of-the-art facility. That lease commences January 1st. Is that tomorrow?
Yes,
Day
sir.
after tomorrow.
That is the
Day after tomorrow.
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're here.
We're in Eve.
Right.
This is Eve today.
What type of impact do you think it would make on Harris Field? And I say it to, I want to put this analogy. When Home Depot and Walmart came to Homestead, Florida City, it disrupted a lot of the smaller businesses that were here, right? But yet, Home Hardware, which is down the street, survived because they provide a different service. Even though you can get the same things you're going to get there that you're going to get at Home Depot, it's a different experience that you get here from Home Hardware.
They had to adapt.
They had to adapt. So, but they're still here.
Yep.
When other businesses, they just got wiped out.
Right.
And they're not here anymore.
Right.
I don't want that to happen to Harris Field when you've got this beautiful new state-of-the-art facility that all of the eyeballs and all of the resources are going there. What happens to Harris Field?
Right.
So I grew up playing in Harris Field.
Right.
And I have great memories, and that park is sentimental to me as well. You know, like it has a special place in my heart. Sure. I don't want Harris Field to disappear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen to Harris Field having that new facility come to Homestead?
I think, when we look at the foundation that Harris Field has, the history, we have to remember what it was first built for. It was to give kids that didn't have an opportunity to play. And I know that we've evolved, especially here in South Florida with our sports, because our climate is so great to us that you even get into travel sports and things. But the love that Harris Field has for people that maybe not have the income to pay for a jersey, you have to remember that foundation. And that's why I think it's going to survive, because it truthfully, especially what I'm involved in, not every community or not every household is a wealthy household.
Right.
So,
Right.
Those are biblical
Right.
things. I mean, to be honest, if you read it, God said the poor will always be with you,
Right.
but they are a great part of society.
Right.
Not everyone's going to be wealthy enough to, and sad as it sounds, it's true, to where they can go to a facility or even drive there, but they can walk to Harris Field. So I think we have to preserve those things.
Right.
We have to take care of that place, but begin to get back. When there's a new building come in and they're going to offer this, and they're evolving this way, it doesn't mean we can't grow
Right.
and perform just as well as this new. I think we just have to remember what our foundation was. A lot of people like to move these foundational things that mean a lot to community, and I think that's a mistake. I think sometimes it's adding, like I said, adding value.
Right.
If I find a building with good bones, you better believe I'm gonna add value.
Right.
Those bones mean something. They mean something.
So from the other states that you've been to, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, how does Homestead, rank in terms of the way the facilities or the parks are set up compared to some of the other places? Are we low tier, mid tier, high tier?
I think we're coming out of low tier.
All right.
And I'll be completely honest. It's not of just what local government can do. I think, again, it goes to community participation.
All right.
As I said before we started, one thing that breaks my heart living here is that I'll go talk to another Homestead resident or Florida City resident, and they'll talk just as bad about their own city
Wow.
as anyone else, as if they're living the worst of the worst.
Right.
And you kind of look at them like, this is your home. It's almost like,
Where's the pride in that?
Right.
could you imagine me showing up to the office saying, I hate my family, I hate where I live, and I hate it. I
don't want to be around that energy.
They're just the worst.
Right.
You look at me like, are you out of your mind? They have the same last name you have.
That's right.
So my thoughts are, somewhere when we begin to love where we live and love our community and treat each other like fellow Homestead, residents,
Right.
and continue to help each other grow and build. And when you get that person that's like had a bad experience here, well, hey, I'm your neighbor.
That's right.
Let me help you walk through that. Then I think we'll start to catch up. What Tennessee, what other areas, even out in, he said Phoenix,
Right.
what these people have and places have is you can go there and they brag about their city more than anything, and you can't.
Love it or leave it.
And even if a crime happens, and mind you, there's a page that I gave you where we were doing some crime preventative stuff. Even if a crime happens, it's not they're in denial. They're like, yeah, tragedy, but guess what? We're picking it back up. We're doing it, and you can sense that they're like, yeah, shame on us,
Right.
but we're gonna get better. To residents here, you feel this is crime. That's why I'm waiting to get away.
Right.
Well,
for what?
why? I wouldn't even let my wife. We lived in Chandler, Arizona. There's a hospital down the road. My son was being born.
Yeah.
She wanted to go to Gilbert, Arizona. Great facility. Banner. They raised a lot of money. Built immaculate facilities. Chandler, Arizona. Chandler Hospital is one of the oldest original hospitals there. And I said, why do you want to go and deliver miles up the road when right there?
Well, it was a shiny object over there because it was new.
Shiny object. Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, and then I heard the service. Is it better? And and this, and I said, honey, we're not going anywhere. In fact, if the service is bad, I'm going to get on the phone
And try to fix it.
with the director of the hospital. And I assure you, I got on the phone with the director. And I said, this is what's being said about our local hospital. I'm not allowing my wife to go up the road.
Right.
So how can we fix
Work
it?
this out.
And I don't know if it's just because I said it.
Right.
We have the best room,
Wow.
the best ice chips, the best juices,
That's it.
the best. My wife came out of there and she said, that's probably one of the best services I had delivered. And she's delivered 6 of our kids. So she said, that's one of the best times in delivery I've ever had.
That's amazing.
So what does that tell you? We have a job to do within our own community.
Well, he's also, I mean, what he talks about, he also does in
He
real
practices
life.
what he preaches.
So he's also the chairman of the Homestead Housing Advisory Board here
okay.
in the city of Homestead. So that also plays a role in what the city is thinking about doing with affordable housing.
Right.
Can you elaborate a little bit about what you guys do on that board?
Yeah. It's so obviously we get funds.
Right.
And these funds are to help low income or those who are struggling who couldn't do a repair to their roof or their house or, build in an area where we need housing.
Right.
And so that's what we're doing. We're really trying to keep the government accountable.
Right.
And it shows you a good picture of the city that they're willing to say, okay, we're going to elect some people from these different walks.
Right.
Come tell us.
Right.
And agree on how we should be using this funding.
Right.
And I think that's a great thing because you need some transparency.
Right.
Even though we have great representation in these different roles at government, sometimes they're so busy they don't see that this may matter. So we're meeting there quite often, and we're really taking this serious. We want, I'll be honest, we want our low income to really be well. Meaning we want to help them not only have a great place to live, a great community, but our goal and dream is that we give them something, a stepping stone, that they could maybe come out of that bracket.
Similar to what you told the director of the hospital. Like, hey, people are saying this.
Right.
So once you're done talking to this guy, you are going to have a product or a service that is, high level service. So what you are doing, not only what you did with the director, but I understand the example of what you're doing with low-income housing.
Sure.
Right.
To give that resident the same feeling that, a person would have if they were in market
Anywhere
rate
else,
housing.
the value is here, right? So being able to pour into the community is really what it's all about, and that's where leaving the proper crumb. You live here. Let's try to grow here and not worry about how they're doing it over there, but try to fix what we have going on locally.
It's a blessing to have gentlemen like you in Homestead, man. That it really makes us feel proud of the people that we are surrounded by. So keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing great work. Keep it up. You're welcome on this podcast anytime to come chop it up with us again.
Well, we're gonna get Dr. Natty
Yeah,
down
that's
here.
right.
Yeah. So the goal, and he's gonna hear this, and I'm gonna tell him the goal is get some of the bananas to come and play.
That
some
would be
Little League
great.
That's
man.
right.
That would be great.
Here in Homestead.
Let's
So
put us
if
on the map.
we can
That's
bring the bananas down.
That's right.
I tell you
Well,
what.
we'll have him on the podcast first.
Yes.
That goes without saying.
Well, we got to go on his podcast.
Absolutely.
This podcast. There you go.
Absolutely.
Cool beans. So, well, thank you for coming on. I mean, anything else? I mean, if anyone wants to reach out to you, or if any program you need support from our podcast, please do not hesitate. I know we're in this time where you're going to enjoy some R&R with the family.
Yes.
Please do so. Again, this is our way of saying thank you for coming on and giving you your flowers, because a lot of times they say men don't like flowers, but we do verbal flowers. So we say thank you, and we're not shy to say thank you for the things you're doing. So we appreciate you.
Appreciate
It's
the
our
opportunity.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Good. All right.